Hello everybody and welcome to the Thursday edition of Video Clips. I have a couple of great topics to talk about today, and the first one is, according to scientists associated with the United Nations, people living in wealthier countries like the United States should reduce their consumption of animal foods in order for people in poorer countries to have more access to them. Now, I'm really not for promoting more animal food consumption to any population, but at least this group is acknowledging that the demand for animal foods, as it increases every single year, cannot continue without really huge damage to the environment. According to a UN Environment Program study, Europeans currently eat 35% more protein than the World Health Organization recommends. And for Americans, we're consuming 58% more protein than needed. People living in Asia and developing countries are trying to increase their meat consumption. They want to be like us. If only we could just show them what it really is like to be like us with all these weight and health problems, we maybe could change their mind. In any case, Professor Mark Sutton says that people in westernized nations should set an example in order to reduce the world's increasing demand for animal foods. And he says, quote, "Aim for eating half of the amount of meat we're currently eating is a good starting point. We should aim to be demetarians," that's the term he uses, eating half the meat we've typically been eating. And in his article, he was referring to the recent horse meat scandal in Europe. And he said, if we eat meat less often, we might go for a higher quality product when we do. And of course, that's one of the things we've been saying at Wellness Forum: increase the quality, decrease the quantity. Really make it a tiny, tiny portion of your diet. Well, this is all far from an ideal recommendation, but the fact that more organizations are starting to acknowledge that we just can't infinitely increase the size of livestock farms and that people can actually fare quite well eating less animal food is at least a step in the right direction. And I love Sutton's line. He says, "Eat meat, but less often, make it special." What a great plan. Well, if everybody in the United States would adopt a Wellness Forum style diet, which allows for a maximum of 2 to 3 servings of animal food if it's organic or wild caught fish, 2 to 3 maximum, no dairy, dairy comes out of the diet, we would get rid of the biggest contributor to global warming right now. There just wouldn't be enough demand for this stuff to warrant having factory farms. Human health would improve, healthcare costs would be reduced, and animal cruelty would almost disappear. And gosh, wouldn't this be a great example to set for the rest of the world? It would be much better contribution to world health than our exporting of fast food restaurants and coffee shops to other less developed countries and teaching them how to farm the way that we do here in the United States. Bad idea. So the UN says eat less meat. It's not just Dr. Pam Popper anymore. Okay, now this actually makes me very happy. U.S. dairy farmers are concerned because milk consumption in schools is declining. Now, it's not going away, so we can't get too excited, but I love any sign of things getting better. Now, never at a loss for ways to build sales, the International Dairy Foods Association and the National Milk Producers Federation have requested that the FDA allow them to use artificial sweeteners in flavored milk products and several other products without having to label them as low-fat dairy products. One of the reasons why they want to do this is that if the products have to be labeled as low-fat, kids are less likely to choose them. And so this low-fat label, according to the milk producers, has resulted in the reduction in milk drinking in schools. So I love this. The groups gave their whole justification for why they needed to do this. And then with a straight face, which is hard to believe, they said that the changes would promote honesty and fair dealing in the marketplace. It just blows my mind. Are you kidding me? Milk producers are asking for permission to repackage and mislabel hormone-laden secretions from cows, which are designed to help animals grow to several hundred pounds and are linked to health issues ranging from constipation and chronic infections to breast and prostate cancer, in order to entice kids into consuming more of it. They think this is honest? My gosh, no wonder this country's in trouble. The sad part about all this is the FDA will probably let them do it because other than federal courts, I've never known a federal agency to rule against the dairy industry on anything, no matter what these people wanted to do. So the good news is we'll focus on that. Dairy consumption is declining in schools. Let's hope this trend continues. If we have enough parents just refusing to buy milk for their kids at school, maybe it'll go away. You know, it just takes time for these things to happen. So all in all, some pretty good news when you think about it. Well, that's all for today. I will be back to you next Tuesday. And as always, feel free to pass this on to anybody who you think might enjoy watching it. Have a great day and a great weekend.